All right, Ravi, thanks a lot. Yeah, maybe Tennessee is better than the last few years. They have been here a lot. Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the Little League World Series presented by T-Mobile. Back down to the international bracket in two countries with heavy history here at the Little League World Series. The team from Tokyo, Japan, already with a combined no-hitter in its opener Wednesday, faces Mexico. The kids from Tijuana making their 2023 debut here in Williamsport. 10 United States teams. You just came from there at Lamedy, and now 10 international teams. And again, it's double elimination. Winner of our game plays Monday night, and the loser plays on Sunday afternoon. With that, we say hello again and welcome to Williamsport. Eduardo Perez, Mike Monaco with you. Sebastian Salazar joins us in a moment. So we've had 5 games already here on the international side. 3 no-hitters, including a perfect game that we've seen, and a lot of powers seem to be forming, including Japan and this team from Tokyo.
Yeah, Japan, they came in and they told us, watch our pitching. And boy, did they pitch. Hinata Uchigaki, who is playing shortstop today, came in and in 5 innings struck out 13. He was devastating with that curveball. Cuba had not seen a curveball like that. And then Akito Masuda, who was at shortstop, came in to close, and he also dominated Cuba with his fastball location really well. Japan just putting it right to Cuba and being 1-0, now facing Mexico.
A Mexico team that plays for the first time here today, the last international team to get in. Some of these kids on this team from Tijuana been playing together since they were 3 years young.
Yeah, and this is a team that has represented really well Mexico in the regionals. They shut everybody out. They're having a lot of fun. They're very relaxed, and it's a team that understands what to do while they are here because of the experience they had in 2013 when one of their players' brothers was actually on the team. You see right there, and we pinpoint Axel Mandujano, who is Jamil's brother, the left fielder. And you know what? Let's get to Sebastian so we can have a little bit more on him.
Thanks, guys. Jamil Mandujano here. He's about to play his first ever game at the Little League World Series, but it won't be the first time we see a Mandujano here in Williamsport. His brother was on the team that represented Mexico in 2013. Let's see if we got any good brotherly advice. ¿Qué te dijo tu hermano de esta experiencia, él que jugó aquí hace 10 años?
No, pues me dijo muchas cosas, que va a haber mucha gente, muchos nervios. No se va a escuchar nada de lo que dicen tus compañeros cuando intenten alertar de lo que va a venir. Y pues me dijo que sin nervios, relájate y ponte a jugar el béisbol que tú sabes hacer.
He said there's going to be a lot of nerves, there's going to be a lot of people watching, but you just got to relax and play the baseball that you know you can play. Now, our guy here was also one of the heroes of the trips to Williamsport, the game-winning grand slam in the regional final. Cuéntame de ese momento y tu gran jonrón, tu grand slam en el campeonato regional.
Pues estuvo muy bonito, la verdad, se sintió bien. Y todos mis compañeros gritando y apoyándome.
He tells me it was a great moment. The best part of it, all his teammates screaming and cheering him on. Guys, back up to you.
Thoughtful. You gotta love it.
Methodical. Yes.
All right, let's meet Jorge Villa, brought to you by Dollar Car Rental. He's the starting pitcher for this team from Tijuana and a big fan of Randy Arozarena. Special talent building Legos.
Yeah, building Legos, and that's one of the building blocks is actually also pitching when it comes to Team Mexico. They shut out every team in the regional, and they've only allowed, on the road here, 5 runs allowed. This is a team that understands how to pitch, but they are going to have to deal with this offense from Japan.
14 players on the roster, and again, new this year to Little League Baseball and the Little League World Series. Everyone bats before the lineup flips over. It's called the continuous batting order, and for Japan, though they got that combined no-hit win against Cuba on Wednesday, they only had 1 hit in the game themselves. So trying to get the bats in gear here on this Friday evening. Akito Masuda leads it off. You said it, he'd been at shortstop the other day, and now he'll pitch today for this Japanese squad. Favorite athlete Dennis Rodman said he most wants to meet him to know more about basketball.
The worm. How about that? You lead off, you pitch, and you can play defense because that's what the worm did.
Get some boards. Jorge Villa's 1-1. Sails high. They came out earlier to check on a sleeve during warm-ups, and now what?
Okay, so this is really interesting. He's on the rubber, but when he delivers in front of the rubber. She wants him to at least be right on the rubber at point of delivery. Good observation right there.
Tracy Duez, the umpire at third. Jorge's 2-1. Is where his catcher, Mayolo Pena, set up away. And being told you got to bring that in. (3-1) to Akito Masuda. And a leadoff walk. So Japan's got the first man aboard here in the top of the first. Yeah, you were talking about the Japanese pitching. Coaching staff had told you that headed into their first game on Wednesday. What does the offense have in store after squaring off in a heavyweight showdown with Cuba in game 1 for him Wednesday?
Yeah, and that's the big question, right? Japan doesn't have to deal with nerves anymore. They have one game under their belt.
This is Daim Nakano.
But on the other hand, Team Mexico, who has not played a game yet, they have to deal with the first inning jitters, the first inning nerves that I asked Team Cuba. I asked the same thing with Team Venezuela. Team Japan, were you nervous that first inning? All of them said yes.
And it seemed like we saw that from Venezuela in its first game earlier today. Gave up 2 to Panama in the bottom of the first, but then came back, won that game 4-3.
Yeah, it's all about settling down, being able to have the jitters, and that is so normal. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how prepared you are, you better have some of those jitters.
1-1 to Nakano. Pulls back, tried to slash, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, if Nakano's going to do that, he has to move up in the box and give himself more of a chance to be able to pull the bat back and be able to slash. Now he gets closer to the plate.
Boy, he's hanging over the plate. Pena sets up away. Villa's 1-2. 2-2.
Purpose pitch right there.
And Tracy Duez, the third base umpire, summoning the translator from the Mexican side to, again, probably have a conversation about the contact with the rubber.
Yeah, she's saying that he's moving at least a good 4 to 5 inches in front of the rubber when he releases the baseball. First time was a warning. Second time, get the translator out to make sure that he understands, Jorge understands clearly what to do here. Now let's see if he's able to make this adjustment. How about this? The umpire all the way in left field was the one that noticed.
Apparently the perfect angle to spot it.
Third base, yeah.
Let's see how Jorge adapts. Ready with a 2-2 to Nakano. You know, he was 9 pitches deep. How hard do you think it is to kind of readjust the way you've been taking your warm-up tosses and then thrown the first 10 or so pitches?
I'm actually going to turn this into a positive because all the nerves that are there, now the focus is more on the rubber and not on the nerves. And he could actually be able to focus more on just throwing it over the plate.
Here's his 2-2 again. Line to right, and that'll plug the gap in right center for Nakano. Masuda to third, and he will stop there. Second and third for Japan with nobody out.
2-strike hitting, something Japan did not have in game 1 against Cuba as they won 1-0 with 1 hit. Ball leaks out over the plate, was supposed to be inside. He hits it to right center field, and the center fielder, Jonathan Juarez, who is a very good defender, bobbles it, and then Nakano is able to then get to second on the bobble. Should be scored a hit and an error.
So 2 on, and it brings up Hinata Uchigaki. Star pitcher in game 1 for Japan a couple of days ago, and now at shortstop, as we showed you, for this team from Tokyo. You had a conversation with him pregame in the dugout in his native language.
I actually had a conversation with Masuda, who's
okay.
Yeah.
Talking to the starting pitcher right before his big start.
Oh, man, he's on base right now. Different rules here.
Here's Hinata in the box.
Don't go blaming me.
Everyone's dancing pregame. They can do anything and talk to anyone. This one's popped up toward first, and Marco Mejia calls for it for the first down for Jorge Villa. So that is a big first down against one of the big bats.
All right, you see the glove that Marco has on right now. So he ended up getting a new glove before the Little League World Series, and he went up to Coach and he said, "Coach, I'm going to use the new glove today." And he's like, "Don't you dare. You go with the one that got us here, the one that I know the ball will not pop out of."
That looks like a pretty good glove, too, if that's the old one.
Man, that's a good one right there. That's a Mexican Rawlings, man.
Well, he used it adeptly for the first down. Now the cleanup man, Taiga Tsutsui. Strike 1. Taiga walked in both trips to the plate in the cleanup spot on Wednesday against Cuba. After saying to us coming here, he could not wait to be in the batter's box here in Williamsport in front of so many fans.
Infield playing in.
Villa's 0-1 is away.
I cannot stress enough that Team Mexico went through the entire regionals in Mexico without allowing a run in heavy competition. Really good offenses. This pitching has been dominant throughout the regionals. It's just a little nerves early on.
Fouled away, 1-2.
Oh, you see Tsutsui's reaction right there. He wanted that pitch back. At 5'4", 125 pounds, he laid into that one. Trying to slow down the heartbeat.
Holding it.
See that?
He is draped over the plate as well.
With 2 strikes, that's what they do.
Pena sets up well outside. And a bouncing ball foul.
Safe to say he missed his spot?
He did not throw it outside of the left-hand box, so yes.
There we go.
Pena was incredibly positioned back there.
Okay, check this out right here.
Second and third, still the 1 out here in the top of the first. Jorge Villa is shaking through the signs with Pena in his 18th pitch of the inning. That hit the spot.
I'll tell you this. I think because he was so far away, he called that a ball. But we've seen already in this Little League World Series that if he doesn't go that much away, you could steal that pitch. You could get that pitch called.
And Jorge has been hitting the glove more often than not. Two-two. Bouncing ball back up the middle at short. The throw to first from Partida. And Akito Masuda scores, and Japan's up 1-0.
Wise choice right there by Bernardo Partida at shortstop. Squares up right here. Good job putting the ball in play. Breaking pitch. Just play pepper with it. You drive in the run. He checks the runner going home, but he realizes no chance there. Let me be smart enough to get the second out of the inning.
And set the table for Yohei Yamaguchi with Daime Nakano at third. 5-hole hitter takes strike 1.
So common denominator, you get a walk in that first inning, and Japan takes advantage of that walk and is scoring, gets the lead early, just like against Cuba in the first inning. They scored that 1 run.
On just the 1 hit, and it was the only hit they had in the entire ball game. And it came from this guy, Yamaguchi. Nakano to the plate, and it's 2-0.
This is all nerves, guys. This is not the team that I understand the coaches from Team Mexico have seen the entire series in order to get here. Francisco Finbas, the manager for Team Mexico, has to be able to settle his kids down.
Bring it in.
So 2-1 now on Yohei Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi got aboard twice in the game against Cuba on Wednesday. 3-1 the count.
Mayolo Peña behind the plate is having a little trouble being able to secure that ball. In the meantime, the home plate umpire telling him you have to bring it in. And oh, by the way, Mayolo has no idea what he's saying.
Because of the language barrier.
The language barrier.
Yes. Team Mexico in its first inning here at the Little League World Series. That one served foul, and it's a full count.
I like that pitch there. Inner part after seeing everything away. 3-1 pitch to execute. Let's see what Jorge decides to go with here.
It's his 25th pitch of this top of the first. On the way to Yamaguchi. Talked about the region tournament. Meanwhile, for Japan, they went 4-0 in their region. 15 different little leagues were there. Held over a couple of days in July in Tokyo. Villa's payoff in that tournament. This Tokyo Little League team won the 2 games the first day, a combined score of 24-1. And the next day, a pair of closer games to clinch a ticket here, 6-5 and 6-0. And then the win over Cuba to get it started in Williamsport.
2 strikes. Play.
Japanese hitters have fouled off 6 pitches from Jorge Villa this inning. 3-2 again. Reaches out in the air right field, and coming on Lizarraga, and it drops in. What an at-bat by Yohei Yamaguchi.
So they've doubled the amount of hits that they got in the first game against Cuba, and this one again, 2 strikes. Just put the bat out there, hit barrel strong enough to just lay it out in front of the right fielder, Jorge Lizarraga.
That's pretty to watch, just a reach out with the bat like that and float it into right.
Yeah, they've got an idea right now, and you can tell it's not trying to do so much. Hit everything up the middle the other way.
Brings up the catcher, Nobuaki Sakaue. He says his special talent is that his charm is his cute smile. Self-aware. What's your charm, Eduardo?
I want to say he stole mine.
1-0 to Sakaue. That's a strike. So Villa getting that call that he's kind of been working away.
Yeah, kind of working away. He continues to do that. He'll show in. He'll throw the slider late and counts, but it's early fastballs away.
Even with 1 strike, a hitter hovering over the plate, like we've seen a lot from these Japanese bats here in the first. Sakaue, big fan of Shohei Ohtani, says he wants to have an at-bat against Shohei. Big Angels fan. Chops it left side in the hole, and Partida with a tough play to make onto the outfield grass. There's 2 on.
Okay, so I was told before the game, an observation here. Really good defenders are the left side of the infield and the center fielder for Team Mexico. And what have we seen so far? We've seen the nerves get a little bit of everyone here. And it's normal. we're in Williamsport. This is what you play for. This is the excitement. This is the total package. You come around and you see Lombardy. You see Volunteer Stadium. It's a lot.
This is Francisco Fimbres, the manager.
Hola, Cachito. ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Te está molestando el brazo? ¿Sí? Ok. Dame la bola entonces.
He asked him how he felt. He said his arm hurt.
¿Está molestando el brazo?
He just notified his arm was bothering him as well.
Sí.
So pitching change here in the top of the first. Japan on the board early. It's 2-0 against Mexico. The Little League Baseball World Series on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Tennessee, kids from Nolensville, just outside of Nashville. They are in the winner's bracket on the United States side. Pretty thorough performance from them.
Still on the fellas.
Yeah.
They took care of business early.
Jamil Mandujano, he has a special talent of making cupcakes, and now he's entrusted of stepping onto the bump here in the first.
Yep. And you know what our talent is, right?
Crushing
He's
those.
making them, we crush them. Now, how do you eat the cupcake? Do you just straight up just...
Like top first, or kind of go at it piecemeal?
I learned this from Carl Ravage. What you do is you split the bottom and the top, and then you make it into a sandwich. Brilliant idea.
Interesting.
Brilliant idea. When I saw that, we were in the green room at ESPN, and I was like, wait a second, what did you just do? Split it, and then game changer.
It sounds like we're getting hungry up here early on.
All right.
We thought we were going to be eating Vegemite during the Australia game yesterday.
How about the funnel cakes? Remember the funnel
Yes.
cakes? X was sitting right here in the middle, and he was just
swimming.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
We have not cracked into the food yet, but we promise we will. And Eduardo with something food related with the Cuban team that you will absolutely want to see during our coverage here over the next few days. The Cupcake Baker is on against Kosuke Nohira, one of the DHs for Japan in this continuous batting order.
Now, during his warm-ups, everything was going arm side. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Mandujano's 1-0. That comes back inside as well. So as a hitter, you think what if you see an arm like that?
Well, you observe what they do during the warm-ups, and then you adjust and see how that first pitch comes in the release point. This is a lot more velocity right now from Mandujano than they've seen so far in this tournament. Ball's in.
You were talking about the defense and that being part of what we heard about with this Mexico team. Just watching them in infield, outfield, Mandujano started in left, and we were impressed by the arm out there when he was taking infield, outfield.
We were absolutely. That was an arm here in Little League that you just do not run on.
Up and in, look out. 3-1 the count on Kosuke Nohira.
Wow, I don't know how he got out of that one. That's great reactions. He's even smiling at that one.
Kosuke said coming here is most looking forward to becoming the best team in the world. He takes inside off the edge, again to the arm side, and they're loaded up.
I mean, he kept coming in, and they kept telling him, get closer. This could be my second Rudy Stein comment.
No.
Yes, I went there. Bases loaded now. 2 outs. You try to steal another run right here. He has yet to be able to make an adjustment. One of the adjustments that Mayolo Peña could do behind the plate is actually do what he's been doing earlier. Go to the outside corner.
It's kind of centrally located on the first one that comes back and misses inside to Yusuke Matsumura.
Peña continues to stay down the middle.
And you can see Jamil trying to work through his release. before he readies for his next one. And these Japanese hitters hovering on the plate. It's a strike center cut. It's not Yuzuki's superstition of eating a pork cutlet to win before a ball game. 39th pitch of this top of the first. Fouled away.
Thank you.
And with 2 strikes, Team Japan gets even closer on the plate right now. They know how important this extra run is.
Matsumura choking all the way up on his bat with the bases loaded, 2 runs in and 2 out here in the first. Maduhato's 1-2. He's up high.
Love the way Peña's set up. You see how that arm continues? The ball continues to go arm side.
Paolo Peña, who's been back there for all 40 pitches in this top of the first. Big fan of Yadier Molina. Looks up to him. Two-two. Matsumura fouls it off.
Need that one.
There just hasn't been much, if any, swing and miss from these Japanese hitters.
A lot more confidence. Again, this is the advantage of having played that first game against Cuba, as they've only had 1 swing and miss so far in this inning.
Against 41 pitches. 2-2. Ground ball towards second, and Jorge Cota ends the inning. Japan gets 2, and now we get to watch Mexico bat for the first time at the Little League World Series next. Tijuana, the westernmost city in Mexico outside of San Diego. Population of about 2 million, second largest in Mexico. This is Municipal de Tijuana Little League, making its second Little League World Series appearance. The other, as we showed you, was back in 2013 under the guidance of the same manager, Francisco Fimbres, leading this group back here from Tijuana. And let's meet the team.
Mi nombre es Alfredo Chacón y mi jugador favorito es Salvador Pérez.
Mi nombre es Santiago Hernández y mi comida favorita es el sushi.
Mi nombre es Aras Laborín y mi cantante favorito es Maroon 5.
Mi nombre es Leonardo Partida y mi comida favorita enchiladas.
Mi nombre es Jorge Cota y mi jugador favorito es Ronald Acuña Jr.
Mi nombre es Jonathan Juárez y mi jugador favorito es Juan Soto. Mi nombre es Jorge Izárraga y mi comida favorita son las entomatadas.
Mi nombre es Mayolo Peña y mi jugador favorito es Juan Soto.
Mi nombre es Andrés Rubio y mi postre favorito es la nieve de chocolate.
Mi nombre es Gael Leiva y mi jugador favorito es Ray Turner.
Mi nombre es Jorge Villa y el trabajo de mis sueños es ser veterinario.
Mi nombre es Yamil Mandujano y mi materia favorita es español.
Mi nombre es Marco Mejía y mi atleta favorito es Michael Jordan.
All right, there they are, Mexico here at the Little League World Series. They go up against Akito Masuda, who I'm told you had a conversation with in the dugout pregame.
I did, and I asked him, I said, okay, so what do you have? What are you featuring? And I asked him in Japanese, and I said, Matsuga, and he goes, hai. Matsuga means straight, the fastball. Then I said, how about the curva? And he goes, yes, curva. How about slider? And he goes, dame des, no good, no slider. So it's fastball, curveball that he's featuring. The good thing is he already's been on the bump. Came in to close out the first game against Cuba. So those jitters are gone, and now he has a 2-run lead to start off this game.
Coaching staff says that fastball in particular is a good one. After he finished off the no-hitter a couple of days ago, now he starts and faces Mexico here in the first. Jorge Lizárraga, the right fielder, leads off for Mexico, up there swinging right out of the gates. Jorge's got an older brother who was going to play here in Williamsport, but unable to because of the COVID pandemic. We went through a time without international teams here. Now he drops down a gorgeous bunt. Perfect.
Tell you what, that is done perfectly right there. He deadened it beautifully, Lizárraga. confident on an 0-1 count to be able to just lay it down. The fundamentals are beautiful. In the box, moves up. As soon as he lays it down, there is no chance for Gayanuma to be able to make a play.
Let's go down to Sebastian.
Guys, I've been covering the international bracket since 2017, and nobody, I mean nobody travels like the Mexican families. Now, it's not an easy trip, right? Well, let's see here. So it's not an easy trip, obviously. You got to drive across the border to San Diego, long flight to New York, then catch a ride into Williamsport. But despite that, we got over 40 immediate family members here. One of them is Alfredo, and he's going to help us start a chant. A ver.
¡Vamos, México! ¡Vamos, vamos por ello! ¡Vamos por ello! ¡Viva México!
Tell you what, they're loud there. And they've been very smart so far on the field. They're playing that small ball as well, forcing the defense to make plays. Japan, a team that fundamentally, defensively, they have been solid throughout their history, rich history here in Williamsport. Wasn't able to get that out at second as a throw. Took the second baseman, shortstop, off the bag.
A really good one from Jonathan Juarez. And now the three-hole hitter is the third baseman for this team from Tijuana, Gael Leyva. One of the later additions to this team. We told you there's some guys who've been playing since they were 3 years old together. But Gael's gotten along with his teammates quite well. He has fit in quickly. Ball at a strike from Masuda. 71 that time.
Team Mexico saw a lot of velocity on their route to get here to Williamsport. Not intimidated by it.
That's something that could be different for different teams, right? Like you've talked to the Cuban team, and the amount that they've seen curveballs very different from other teams.
Well, in Cuba, you don't see the curveball. You're not allowed to throw it at the age of 11, 12. So I asked one of the players, I said, what did you think about when you saw your first curveball? He said, look, I saw it. But what I did not know was that the curve would curve again. Genius.
Something they had never seen before, and they got it from this Japan team 2 days ago. 2-2 to Leyva, and he pulls it left field. Takamoto makes the catch on the scene for the first down.
Well, that was a breaking ball right there, and Leyva recognized it. Was able to hit it well, but Takano in left. Playing it beautifully. See the swing right there, and that's nicely done. Pitch up. The defense plays in the outfield. Now they're playing really deep against Mandujano.
Yeah, look at Takano and how far back he is. Practically out of your picture for Jamil Mandujano. So maybe they've done some advanced scouting on him.
With the sheer size. Then you put him in the cleanup spot. There's nowhere to hide him.
Buck 72. Trying to send one to Scranton.
Got to keep that head in there. It's exactly what his coaches are telling him right now. Think right center field.
His teammates refer to him as their power hitter. That's what Jamil is. But his teammates, they also like needling him, saying he struggles to get to the curveball. They took great pleasure in busting his chops. 1-2. That's down, and the runner from first takes off for second, but Lizarraga didn't go to third, so they've got Juarez hung up. Juarez dancing back to the bag, takes off for second. Lizarraga rounds third, to the plate, the throw, the tag, got him! Team Japan just ran a Tom Amansky clinic.
I'll tell you this, I don't know if Mexico should challenge this one or not. Did he place the tag on time at the plate? Was the foot down, or did it slide over the plate? I mean, breaking this one down, Juarez had no business going to second, and once he did, Team Japan could have panicked and played it wrong. What a trade-off right here with 2 outs. Did he get the foot in there? Oh, you see how it popped up?
Yeah.
Did not touch the plate.
And now Manduhano serves one into center in front of Mizushima. And coming around to score, now Juarez taps home and Mexico's on the board. All sorts of action here in the first.
Cannot give away outs and opportunities, especially against a team that is fundamentally sound like Japan. Got to circle this inning, see how this one turns out. Good piece of hitting by Yamil.
So he's aboard with 2 outs. Mexico within a run. And out of the 5 spot in the lineup for Mexico's pitcher to start this game, Jorge Villa. It's a power bat as well, according to the coaching staff, in addition to being their starter at the outset. .73 that time from Masuda. The equivalent of 95 in the majors based on reaction times. 1-1.
One thing you'll notice from the Japanese pitchers historically here is the way they teach pitching, the balance that they have with the bottom half, and the way that they're able to use the torque to be able to generate velocity.
Slide step that time, and still 70 miles an hour. Akito Masuda. Wave and a miss. Strikes out Jorge Villa, and the first was eventful. It's over. Japan leads to the second after this. Flashback 10 years ago, and these same exact 2 Little Leagues met here in the International Championship, Tokyo and Tijuana. And for Mexico, Ramon Mendoza cracked a home run that at the time tied the game and sent Mexico into a frenzy. But Japan's Takuma Gome had the go-ahead in the 6th, and in a tight one, Japan hung on 3-2 to win it and advance to the World Series championship. And we said at the outset, both these countries, and in this case cities, a ton of history here. So most Little League World Series titles, Chinese Taipei with 17, and then Japan has 11.
Yeah, we can't stress enough that it's all good in threes, right? When it comes to Team Japan, 2003, 2013, they were the Little League World Champs, and now it's 2023. Will they be able to repeat?
And for Mexico, meanwhile, Francisco Fimbres, the manager, he was also here coaching on that 2013 team, and so he knows. They lost to Japan, knew it was the same Little League, and knew that their very first game here 10 years later would be against not just the same country or the same city, but the same exact Musashi Huchu Little League. He held a team gathering before regionals where he talked about his experience here with this Mexico group from what he experienced 10 years ago. He showed the team videos and pictures of what it's like at the Little League World Series.
Guys, so many connections between the Mexican team here this year and the group that came in 2013. Same for the Japanese team. Kensuke Tsushida, he's here as the translator. He was on the 2013 team, so was one of the assistant coaches, Dai Okada. And actually, perhaps most interestingly of all, the manager now, Toyo Hiroka, his son was on that 2013 team. Before the opener against Cuba, I asked Hiroka, you know, what was the difference, right? As a dad, super focused on winning. As a manager now, he's focused on providing like more great experiences for everyone. And then I asked him, I said, which made you more nervous? And he laughed, and through the translator told me, as a dad, and not even close.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. In the meantime, Japan right now in this inning starting exactly the same way they started in the first, via the walk, getting that leadoff hitter on.
In this case, it's the walk for Sota Kayanuma, and now Kilato Takano, the left fielder, bats for Japan.
Just rushing the front side. Right now on the mound is Mandujano, and not being able to make that adjustment.
There's a strike to Kilato, who said he didn't sleep on the trip over from Japan at all.
That's a long trip.
Because he was worried about jet lag. He's got his mother here with him as well. 2-1 to the left fielder, standing at 4'11", 95 pounds. There's Mom watching.
Oh, yeah. And historically, we've seen a lot of the Japanese teams be very good in fundamentals and bunting early on in the games. They've transitioned to swinging away.
3-1. They're patient as well.
Everything arm side so far.
Jamil Mandujano ready with the 3-1. And it's back-to-back walks worked by Japan to begin the second. The excitement of the World Series can be downloaded in the new Little League World Series app. Excitement like this. Fans can view schedules, watch highlights, and plan their experience using the official LLWS app. Download today for Apple and Android devices. That's a heck of a sign up there. With some intricate fonts and writing on the signage here at the ballpark. Good crowd on hand as we listen in.
Agarralo, tú, Santi, agarralo.
Mexico makes a move on the mounds. We step aside. Back quickly to Williamsport after this. Little League stats are provided by Game Changer, the official scorekeeping and stats technology partner of Little League and the Little League World Series. Game Changer now offers free live streaming for regular season local youth games, plus automatic video highlight clips when you stream and score your games.
Oh, man, that looks good right there. That's right. How about Jorge Cota on the mound now for Team Mexico? Move it around a little bit. Alfredo Chacon goes from left field to second. And then you get Mandujano back in left field where he started the game.
Back with that big arm. And he gives way to Jorge. 5 feet tall, 92 pounds, facing Kiyu Mizushima. That one goes foul.
Tell you what, he tried for the bunt right there. But one thing that he was doing after he made contact, and that's Kiyu, is his left hand actually hurt. That looks like the vibration of the bunt. Infield corners will play in. He's still deep in the box. I think he's swinging away here.
Positioned where you were saying earlier is best for a slash.
Yeah.
So why be back as opposed to up in the box as a teaching point for the youngsters out there?
Well, if he's going to slash, a lot of kids that do slash and a lot of players, they'll take a step forward and they have to be able to stay in the box. If he's trying to sacrifice bunt here, he will move towards the pitcher. He's not doing that right now.
So he's swinging 1-1. And he is. Chops it right side, and at second, Alfredo Chacon with the flip for the first out.
Good job, good decision there by Chacon. Get the shore out, and a nice job also by Mizushima to be able to move the runners over. Good fundamental baseball. Winning baseball.
Yeah, that's textbook, huh? So now 2 in scoring position because of it for Hyuga Kosaka, first baseman. He's got to lace him up. Hyuga's got his father here. And he said if they advance to the finals, his mother and his younger sister will come too. Ready at a moment's notice, it sounds like. Jorge Cota deals. Ball 1 away.
Outfield extremely shallow. Very good arms in center field and in left field.
Toward the back foot, 2-0. Couple walks to start this inning, then the ground out. And now the 2-0. Cut and a miss. Jorge's played Little League ever since he was 3 years old. Said his parents took him to train in this Tijuana Municipal League. He liked it, and he hasn't stopped practicing and playing baseball ever since. 3-1.
Oh, he doesn't have to give in here. You still have a base open. As you'll have Oda on deck.
(3-1), and they're loaded. Japan's been pretty clinical offensively so far.
You know what they haven't done? They really haven't chased a lot out of the zone. They've been making Mexico, forcing them into the zone.
¿Qué rollo? ¿Qué rollo? Si tú eres mejor, pa. ¿Tú eres mejor, sí o no? Entonces, que te pegue jonrón, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa si pega jonrón? Nada, exactamente, no pasa nada. Atácalo ahí, tírame strike. Diviértete un ratito, cuadro adentro. Un bajón, pisamos la base. Pero quiero que hagas eso. Eso, atácalo ahí. Tú eres buen pitcher. Tú eres mejor. Vamos, diviértete, pa, diviértete. At home, no.
Love it. He right there, he said, you're the best. Looked at him and he said, you're the best. There's nobody better than you. You're the best. You're the guy that we want up here. And you just throw a strike. What happens if you throw a strike? He hits a home run, so what? Let him hit it. Now let's have a little fun. Ball comes right at you in the infield. Go home, get the force out, and let's play defense. But let's have fun. Relax.
Here we go, batter. Here we go.
Gotta love that message. From coach to 12-year-old. Motoi Oda now bats with the bases loaded. And he takes strike 1, so message received and attack mode for Jorge Cota.
This is a strike thrower. Needs him to throw strikes. Pena just has to set up right down the middle. Don't try to get too tricky going outside or in.
Ball and a strike on Oda. Oda will celebrate his 12th birthday tomorrow. He was on a plane for the first time to make this trip over here. He's looking for an early B-Day present here. The 1-1. Inside. We've had tense moments throughout. Fans are edge of their seat right now.
That's a lot of baseball left as well. We're only in the top of the second.
Fouled away, 2-2.
Helped him out there. That could have been ball 3 arm side. Instead, Oda, aggressive swings.
He says the most fun thing about Little League is coming through with a hit. He's trying to do that here with Kayanuma at third, Takano at second, and Kosaka at first on the strength of 3 walks worked by Japanese hitters this inning. Strike 3 called.
Oh my, spun one right there. Looking for the fastball, did not get it, and hits the corner. Beautifully placed pitch. You see the little spin right there, little gyro action. Pena sticking it behind the plate.
How about the confidence? 2-2. Go to your breaking ball with the bases loaded like that.
How about the visit to the mound? Just relaxing him and the entire defense behind him. Let's have fun.
Now Shuma Tachibana.
It's a good pitch. Hit the target. Pena has to set up right down the middle right now.
It's the 14th spot in the Japanese lineup before it flips back to the top in Akito Masuda. That's a strike 1-1.
Masuda tried leaning into that one, didn't he? He knows how important this run is.
He worked a walk in his only trip to the plate on Wednesday against Cuba. Tachibana waits on the 1-1, and it hits him. He wears that one and gets a run in for Japan. And looks back to his dugout, which now has a 2-run lead.
3 walks and a hit by pitch in this inning. 14 Japan manufacturing runs on straight discipline.
We did spot a yawn there in the Japan dugout. It has been about an hour to get into the top of the second. You're off the hook, young man. All right, back to the top. Here's Akito Masuda. Kota snaps in another. Masuda walked and scored back in a 2-run first inning for Japan.
Has to be careful to throw that same pitch again. Masuda saw it, recognized it. They're very good at recognizing spin.
Ooh, big cut by Masuda.
That one stayed out over the plate. Pena wanted it way outside.
Akito's highlight of his season, he says, was a home run in his first game. And now he's got a chance to try to blow this thing open for his team from Tokyo. Pena sets up away, trying to elicit chase on an 0-2. Kota described as a feisty, smart, passionate ball player by his coaching staff. He's trying to leave him loaded. His 1-2. Masuda pulls it out in front, got another breaking ball.
Another breaking pitch right here. That was the 20th pitch already for Kota.
It was a 23-minute top of the first inning. And Japan's been making Mexico's pitchers work. Japan has seen 71 pitches already in this game. One, two again. On the ground, right side, and Chacon ends the inning. Japan gets one, but Kota limits the damage. We got a 2-run ball game on this Friday night in South Williamsport.
It's a huge deal to me.
Almost every kid dreams to be here.
When I first saw Lomity, it was awesome. I thought the regionals field was awesome, but this is way better. it started to sink in like, oh, we're the first team from North Dakota. Like, we just made history.
Sí fue un sueño realidad que se cumplió. Que el equipo se prometió desde el principio.
I've always wanted to play on that field since I was real little. I just imagined being there, and now the fact that it's a reality is just really exciting for me.
Great complex, special field, Labadee Stadium with the hill and the backdrop as well. Our Little League World Series coverage continues with Texas already a win to its name and apparently feeling pretty good about it against Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah, feeling pretty good, and one under their belt. They played excellent defense, and boy, can they hit. And you know what else they can do? They can dance.
Sure can. That'll be Ravi, Todd Frazier, Tim Kirkjian, and Julie Foudy on the call.
Fraze. I haven't seen Fraze yet. I got to go over there and say hello to the Todd father.
He's a natural at this. And shout out to the Kirkjian family, by the way. They got some great news in the last 8 days.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Baby girl. And by the way, Jeff Kirkjian in the house.
Yep.
Here, supporting Team Mexico.
With his father-in-law, and you know Tim, once again, a proud grandfather for another time. To the bottom of the second, Mexico bats down by 2. You see the winner gets Chinese Taipei Monday night right here on ESPN. Marco Mejia against Akito Masuda. Fastball to the numbers.
And culturally, Japanese players at every level, even at the professional level, will take off their hats to see if the hitter, their competitor, is okay. Love the tradition.
It's so cool.
It's the respect that they have for the game.
They talk a lot about their belief in the baseball gods and respecting the game and honoring its tradition and the effort and the competition and the opponent.
And again, making sure that he's okay. He looks over at Mejia,
who's one of the big stars for Mexico. He hit the grand slam in the national final against Matamoros in a game that had been scoreless. So he's on in front of Bernardo Partida, who offered at the bunt bid. We've seen a lot of bunting from Mexico so far.
Yeah, they're going to force a defense to make plays, and one thing that Team Japan has been able to do throughout this entire journey is play good defense.
On the ground towards short, and Uchigaki, his throw on target to retire Partida for the first out. And I think the first baseman, Kosika's reaction says it all. He thought that was a high throw. He was surprised he came down with it.
That's one of their better arms right there. We saw it in game 1 against Cuba. He's the one that started the no-hit bid. Catches the ball. He knows he has to hurry. Partida can run very well. And you have to use all of that shoot size right there to be able to make the play.
Brings up Arath Labarine. That's strike 1 from Masuda. Big fan of Maroon 5. It's right up Tim Kirkjian's alley.
I was about to say, so it's Tim Kirkjian. What was it? He had a maroon shirt, just like the one I have on right now.
Yep. I forget the rest of the backstory. I was laughing too hard.
I know.
It was great, great entertainment. Sal Labarine, his dream job, MLB and architecture. He strikes out on a good fastball there from Masuda.
Yeah,
round number 2.
That was by him right there. Just attacking the zone. Started with the outside corner and then went right down the middle, over the top. It's the equivalent of 95 miles per hour from the 46-foot distance. Rubber to home.
It's been generating a lot of discussion among sports fans after we saw 81 miles an hour in this event yesterday from Fan Chun-Jun, the Taiwanese starting pitcher.
That was some serious heat.
Here's Myolo Pena, the catcher. He's been busy so far. He told you he's a big fan of Yachty. And Myolo says that goes back to the very first baseball team he played on was a team called the Cardinals. And then he learned about Yadier Molina, so he wanted to copy his game after that. 1-2.
And Yadier Molina, now retired, right? And managed Team Puerto Rico in the WBC. Actually does a lot for the youth movement in Puerto Rico as well. And avid about being able to raise and continue to grow the game in Puerto Rico.
It's pretty special to have a guy like that giving back to the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's second, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Masuda's 2-2. Grounded hard to third. Nice pick by Kayanuma to end the inning.
Well, they tell you with defense, you better keep the ball of the glove down. You stay down with it. That's exactly what Kayanuma does at third base. Stays down low, turns his body, puts it in perfect position, and makes a top-father throw to first.
Hinato Uchigaki is coming up this inning. Oh, he was great against Cuba on Wednesday. He is a Paul Skeens fan, and Hinato dealt 5 innings of no-hit ball with 13 Ks. His brother is standing by with Sebastian Salazar.
That's right. I got Taio with me here. Amazing. We just saw the highlights from your brother's pitching in the opener. What was it like to watch him do it live?
Yeah, that was pretty amazing, right? Like, he pitched pretty well, and I was kind of nervous, but like he did well, so I was very happy.
So you were nervous, but he doesn't seem nervous. Tell us a little bit about him, because he seems really cool.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. Like, he always does that before he pitches, so like I don't know how he feels, but you know, he always pitches pretty well. So, but I'm nervous always.
You made the trip obviously from Japan. Are people following this back home? Is there a lot of excitement?
Yeah, I think so. Probably my dad watching this, you know, games or movie or TV. So yeah, hope they're watching this game.
And as a brother, what does it mean to you to see your little bro out here representing Japan on the world stage?
Yeah, you know, like I'm pretty excited to be here, and also he's playing baseball for Japan, so it's pretty amazing, and I hope he'll doing very good.
Dime Nakano with a double. Taio loves it. Yeah, you can clap to lead off the third. Sebi.
All right, now you got to tell me what that felt like. You just saw your bro get a hit at the Little League World Series.
Sorry? Like,
what did that feel like to watch him get that hit here?
I'm really excited. Japan's doing really well, and Japan's leading, so I'm pretty excited.
Thank you very much. We'll send it back up to the booth.
Well done by Taio, who gets to watch little brother step into the box right now. Hinata Uchigaki. So dad back home probably watching on TV. Big brother Taio in the seats. And a second trip to the plate for Uchigaki here in this ball game.
Yeah, Dime Nakano.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to walk him intentionally here, and you get one of those in the game. After that, you have to pitch to him and walk him intentionally and throw those 4 conventional pitches at the Little League level. But Dime Nakano, beautiful swing going the other way right there, right center field. After having pulled the first one for the first hit, he's 2 for 2 in this game.
Pair of doubles, not bad out of the 2 spot in the Japan lineup. And now Taiga Tsutsui at an RBI ground out his first time. Takes ball 1 away from Jorge Cota.
Japan continues to get that leadoff hitter on the bases. 3 consecutive innings.
1-0. Misses. 2 balls, no strikes. It was Nakano to start, and then Uchigaki. He's got to be enjoying himself here. He said he's a big table tennis guy, but he didn't want his teammates to be too keen on the table tennis here in Williamsport because he didn't want it to be a distraction. He's coming here all business-like.
All business. He's in the club. He's in the table tennis club at school. You're in a club at school for table tennis. Watch out. Okay. I don't blame him.
You know it's legit.
He's on the plate.
Yeah.
On the plate, 3-0.
Center cut.
Guys, the legend is growing around Williamsport about this Japanese team and how good they are at ping pong. Now, I'm told from my sources in the Grove, the number 6, Akito Masuda, is the best, although he's getting some good competition from Luis Lappi, the number 19 from California. But the real star of the ping pong table up at the Grove is the number 2 for Japan, Kirato Takano, and it's because of his, how do I call it, pre-service routine, which is not all that different from what we've seen as his pre-at-bat routine. It's kind of crazy. The coaches told me he's the most famous man in the Grove because of it. So word to the wise, the Japanese team a force to be reckoned with on the diamond and beyond.
This is the guy who didn't sleep on the flight over because he was worried about jet lag.
He was focused on that table tennis.
Yeah, and the routine. Kota's 3-2, popped up right side, and Chacon is there. You much for table tennis, ping pong?
I can dab in it a little bit. Not as intense though as Takano and the crew.
They got a 2-run lead here in this 3rd inning and threatening for some more. This is Yohei Yamaguchi. Ran the count full his first time and then singled to the backside. We've liked what we've seen from him offensively so far.
Two for 2 so far in this tournament. He only hit the first game.
He's got a walk as well. And this one hits him to load up the bases for Japan yet again.
Right off the hand. Did not even rub it. Just showed where it hit him. Went over to first. Bases loaded once again for Team Japan.
How do you think you adjust as a pitcher when guys are hanging over the plate?
You still have to execute on it. That pitch was just off the plate itself. That's the second hit by pitch of the game of Japan, 3rd of the game total.
Nobuaki Sakaue reached on an error his first time. That's outside infield in for Mexico.
It's kind of intimidating because they hold their hands out over the plate, but as soon as you're delivering the baseball, they actually put it right back into an aggressive hitter's position.
So hands out to start, basically in the center point of the plate. But then back in. A roller at Leyva to the plate. They got him. And the force on Nakano.
Tell you this, if Nakano slides directly to home plate with his foot, I think he would beat this out. Instead, he tagged the plate with his hand. But he passes the plate with his feet. Watch the slide. He's going with that left hand. And because of that, he's called out. Slides directly into home, he would be safe.
Great call. And let's see if does perhaps Japan want to have a look at this or maybe do a courtesy runner for their catcher now aboard at first. Yep, that's what they'll do. It looks like you can do a courtesy runner for the pitcher or the catcher when they're on the base paths with 2 outs, and the runner has to be whoever made the last out. So that is who's emerging here, Taiga Tsutsui, who had that pop out to second a few batters ago. There's no such thing anymore for the Little League diehards out there who know the rule book back to front like Mike Pereira. No more special pinch runner.
I'll tell you, I was skeptical at the beginning when I first heard about the lineup and the way it works, but I really like it. It gives every kid an opportunity to be able to get an at-bat. And at the end of the day, this is about gamesmanship. This is about the camaraderie and the experience for not only the kids, but also the families.
So, got to say, I'm not sure why Dime Nakano is running. He led off this inning 5 batters ago. Kosuke Nohira, in the meantime, bats. He walked his first time. First pitch swinging, and that rolls foul. Yeah, it's been a big change, that rule with the continuous batting order. And perhaps also it has played a part in some of the great pitching performances we've seen as well.
Absolutely, especially when you have the #1 up there. Every team has that one dominant pitcher.
This one hits the helmet of Nohira. And a run comes in as Uchigaki scores.
I'll tell you what, you have to question what Kota did there on the mound. It's the first time that he decides to hang and just change his delivery. And because he changed his delivery, the arm slot was not the same. It was late in trying to get to the release point, and because of it, could not catch up, and then ends up getting another hit by pitch that drives in another run.
Let's listen in. Well, we've got, I believe, a microphone that's batteries have died, and that's understandable. At about the 90-minute mark in the top of the 3rd. So a conference on the mound with the bases loaded here. A run in and 2 outs, and Japan up by 3. And Jorge Cota trying to get out of this, and again, keep Mexico within striking distance, because they've shown some things offensively these first couple of innings. They've had base runners against Akito Masuda.
They have, and they know that they have a potent offense, but they cannot let this get away from them.
Yuzuki Matsumura grounded out to second his first time. Pena sets up away. And again, Kota trying to come in with the batters over the plate. '41st pitch from Cota. Lashed foul. It's some serious exit velo. They've seen 92 pitches as an offense here in this game from a wave of Team Mexico arms. They have been grinding it out offensively. Yuzuki has a vote for funniest player on the team. One of the team characters with the bases loaded here. That's a strike, 1-2. Jorge Cota, the 5', 12-year-old right-hander, trying to escape. He keeps on shaking Pena. Now he picks one out. And a 1-2. Ooh, just missed 2-2.
That's that blind spot right there.
Now 2-2. Cota deals and drops one in for strike 3 called. Japan gets a run. Kota dodges a little more danger. Walking the tightrope in Williamsport.
My favorite emoji is probably the cheese-in emoji.
My favorite baseball movie is, God, I was about to say The Rookie, but then I started thinking about The Sandlot.
My favorite athlete growing up was Muhammad Ali.
My favorite food, I'm not a picky eater, so I just always say I'm allergic to bad food.
Those are some good answers, similar to the questionnaires that the youngsters get asked when they come to the Little League World Series. The MLB Little League Classic is Sunday Night Baseball, and again, we ask every player from all 20 teams a bunch of questions, including these, and these were the most popular answers. Does anything there surprise you?
If any of the international kids would say Morgan Wallen, that would surprise me. Shohei does not surprise me at all. The Yankees do not as well. And favorite food, pizza? No brainer.
We had a player from Venezuela, Luis Rangel, who said he's most interested in trying hamburgers here in the United States, but he said he's also digging the pizzas. He said U.S. pizza is very good because it has more sauce on it. That's something I never considered.
I agree.
Is that
a lot more sauce? A lot more sauce.
So Luis from Maracaibo, Venezuela is on board. Again, we always seem to come back to food.
Nothing wrong with that.
Send food to the press box. Jorge Lizarraga goes first pitch swinging. He flies out to Takado. There's one gone.
I love the swag in left field right now. I mean, the sun's not out, guys. The lights are on right now. But my man must have the 100% or something on right now. Looking like Garza there.
Kilato Takado. Again, he's the one who, Sebastian told you, has been drawing all the attention at the ping pong table in the Grove among all 20 teams. We're going to need to do a little more Murrow caliber journalism work and find out what exactly the pre-serve routine looks like, because if it matches the sunglass swagger, it's got to be really good.
I want to know if he plays table tennis, the ping pong with the glasses on.
Yep.
You know, just to make sure that serve, you don't know where it's going.
Could
I'm
be
all in.
Pretty intimidating. Like the Phil Ivey of ping pong.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a World Series of Poker reference. That was a deep cut.
I know where you're going with it.
We had bad news bears yesterday. It's up high. 3-1 on Jonathan Juarez, who had a bunt single his first time. The Australian guys taught us that sunglasses are just sunnies. No need for any further syllables. Masuda deals. And a 5-pitch walk to put Juarez on, with one out for Mexico, down by 3 in the third. Should say that was Alfredo Chacon who got aboard there via the walk. Brings up Santiago Hernandez. The continuous batting order is a change for all of us. First pitch swinging, and Hernandez pops it foul.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You were leaning out of the booth to watch the foul ball, and Nobuaki Sakaue was looking up at you and saw you waving.
Oh, yeah. We had a conversation also in the dugout.
That's phenomenal. It's not every day you're playing in front of a big leaguer who is waving at you in the middle of the ball game.
Leave that ball, leave that ball.
He was not looking that time. He's the one with the cute smile, remember?
Yeah.
His special talent.
It's a cute smile. We have something. Did you see the smile? It was a good one too.
Legit.
Yeah. With the
grade.
wave.
0-2 to Santiago Hernandez. And he pops this one up toward Sota Kayanuma. Pretty good Japanese defense we've seen so far, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, the infield that they perform before the game also is spectacular. If you're a fan of the game, every team here takes infield before the game. Japanese team, I don't know if there's another infield as pretty as theirs.
Brings up Jorge Rubio, and this one goes to the backstop. Moving up Chacon to second. Yeah, we love just getting all our work done pregame and just being able to sit back and watch it.
I actually go down on the field and just have a lot of fun, just interacting with the kids and being able to feel 12 again. I mean, nothing hurts when you get on that grass. And then on the way back up, things change drastically.
We've had players talking about the fields here as well. Unlike most Little League surfaces, wherever you are in the world that you're used to. I mean, Mexico's middle infielder, Arat Labarin, went as far as to say it's going to be so much easier to field ground balls here now.
Well, I had a conversation with Edgar Torres, the shortstop for Team Cuba, who has unbelievable hands and footwork. And he says when he got here, it was like, okay, do I really need to move my feet?
Painted for strike 3 called from Akito Masuda. Everybody's friends in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Nobuaki Sakaue on one end, Eduardo on the other. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the Little League World Series presented by T-Mobile. Hey, want your child to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball? Well, visit playlittleLeague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. Fans of Tijuana, Mexico. He's hungry, I think. That's what he's saying.
I don't blame him.
Some dance moves out beyond the wall in left center. Volunteer Stadium, the site for this one into the 4th. In South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Alongside a waving Eduardo Perez and a hustling Sebastian Salazar, I'm merely Mike Monaco. Our entire crew behind the scenes led by Scott Gustafson, our producer and director, Danny McVan. Jorge Cota back to work, about to throw his 45th pitch. And the batter to lead off for Japan is the third baseman, Sota Kayanuma. Walked and scored his first time leading off the second. Sota says, for superstition, he will shave his head before an important game. Even just writing it down, he said, I'm fired up.
I was concerned when he said he would shave. I was like, wait a second.
That didn't start for you at 12 years old?
No 5 o'clock shadow, that's for sure.
Sota said he started that when he was in 5th grade. So I'd imagine that's pretty recent. 1-1. Popped up. Foul ground. Sadaga hustles after it, but it's down for strike 2.
So you mean to tell me he brought his clippers with him?
I think so.
And the universal plug as well, because obviously it's a different voltage here, the whole thing. You got to plan ahead.
I think so. And it sounds like Sota does not need the 1/8, the 1/4, the 3/8, any of those guards.
Okay, so I played in Japan in 2001, and our rice cooker that we bought in Japan, it's still the same one we use today.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. 2-2. Kayanuma.
Really good. Did not travel with the rice cooker, though, just in case you want to ask.
Yes. Jorge Cota ready with the 2-2 pitch. On the ground, sharply hit into center field, a base hit for Sota Kayanuma. For the fans out there, how long were you playing in Japan, and what was it like experiencing a different baseball culture?
Yeah, so I was only there for a few months. I believe it was 4 months total, including the spring training, the 2 months of the regular season. It's a 2-month spring training in Japan. Wow. So then you have 2 months, and then I injured my knee. So I came back to the United States, had surgery, and ended up with the Cardinals the next year. But the culture is beautiful, and you learn some key words. Speaking of rice, gohan is rice. And if you want a lot of rice, omori. Omori rice. As it says, great pitching, good pitching, son.
In and out of 3 languages for Eduardo, just like that.
Come on, lefties, throw strikes. That's what we want right here. Throw strikes. I'm hungry.
Back in the Little League Baseball World Series presented by T-Mobile. You said you were hungry. Is it the perfect amount of sauce?
It's perfect amount of sauce. It looks that way. I'll tell you what, though. Definitely not Chicago style. Definitely not New York style. What are we looking at here?
I think a perfectly cut. Yeah. Perhaps just the old South Williamsport special there. And the cheesy crust as well.
I was trying to do the scratch and sniff to see if it worked.
Well, Jorge Rubio comes on. Here in the top of the 4th inning after Sota Kayanuma had the single and Jorge Cota exited the ball game. Rubio, a two-way guy, prefers hitting over pitching, but he did throw a no-hitter during the season in Mexico. Hilato Takano spins one fair and legs it out. Started foul, went fair. He's not got the shades on here, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, so that's what he does on the ping pong table. It's exactly what he does right there. Look where this ball starts off. Foul ball completely, and then it works his way into fair territory. And the problem with this is Leiva at third base did not have an opportunity to knock the ball and keep it foul. Beautifully executed, then the speed takes over, and now you have runners at first and second again to start another inning.
Kiyu Mizushima bunts one, and he's on. Japan's got him loaded using the small ball now, and it's just been a flood of base runners.
Left on left, you bring in the lefty, so you better put the ball in play, and that's what they decide to do. Now it's about putting pressure. Bases loaded again for Team Japan, 3 innings in a row. You play golf?
I do, not well.
A little balada action right there with that one.
Rare is the ball 2 months ago that starts foul, ends up fair. We've seen it actually a few times over the last couple of days here. Now Hyuga Kosaka, who walked his first time and slaps one foul.
Team Mexico is forced to play the infield end, down 3 with 3 innings left. No outs.
Blocked behind the plate by Maiolo Pena, who's been busy back there.
Good job also by the base runners keeping their head up and seeing that the lead runner at third base, Kayanuma, did not go. Trail runners doing their part.
Kosaka against Rubio. 1-1. Sails up and away. 2 balls and a strike. Japan already 1-0 here. Had a combined no-hitter 2 days ago. Meanwhile, for Mexico, last international team to get into action here. Its first game. 2-1. Kosaka. Foul ball.
So far, the 2 strikeouts that Team Mexico has been able to get off Japan have been looking. They have yet to swing and miss on a 2-strike count.
Now we'll get a mound visit here with a 2-strike count. And again, that's been the obstacle. How do you find that put-away pitch against such polished Japanese hitters who, regardless of count, but to your point, especially with 2 strikes, they haven't been swinging and missing.
Just think about this, with the continuous lineup that Team Japan has and every team has here, they have an opportunity already to get the top of the order up again, the possibility this inning. That just tells you how much they've been able to congest the bases every inning.
It's been an unending wave of offense. Check swing roller. Back to Rubio. A flip to Pena for the out. And there's one gone. Hopefully Pena's all right with Sota Kayanuma crashing in.
Hard, clean slide there by Kayanuma. Makes the play. Kayanuma doesn't deviate. He goes straight into home and just clips him. On the backside, Kayanuma immediately addresses Pena. It's another 2-strike count that they don't swing and miss on. 107 total pitches in this game. I want you guys to understand this. 107 total pitches in this game. Only 4 swings and misses for Team Japan. And it's for Team Mexico, the 107.
That's unreal. You've seen over 100 pitches as an offense. 4 times you've whiffed.
4.
And Hinata Uchigaki and company, they wanted more. Motoi Oda is the batter for his 2nd time. By the way, shout out to our esteemed statistician, Mike Tuberosa. He's tracking every pitch.
You know what that is? That's staying in his lane.
He's unfazed.
I'll get you another pen.
Oda chokes up in the air, right field. And Lizarraga backs up, makes the catch. Takano tags, the throw does not get him. And it's a sac fly for Oda to make it 5-1 Japan.
Runner from second also advances. That's Muzishima. Heads up baseball on that part. Fuska at first stays there. Now you have runners at first and third, but Japan continues to manufacture runs in many different ways besides a hit. They've scored all 5 runs without getting a hit when they're driving them in. A sac fly, they've had hit by pitches, they've walked, but they have not gotten that big hit.
Let's see if Shuma Tachibana can supply it. And a bases loaded hit by pitch his first time. Looks up to his big brother Yuki. Rubio's 1-0 is a strike. Runner from first goes and doesn't prompt a throw. So Kosaka takes second and now 2 in scoring position. Japan by 4 in the 4th with 2 out. 1-1. That's a strike, well located by Rubio. Jorge Rubio, who goes by Andy, trying to strand 2. One, 2. Just down and away. 2-2 the count on Tachibana. Japan has applied pressure from the very first plate appearance of this game when Akito Masuda worked a walk. It has been this way throughout. Check swing, this one skitters away, and Mizushima scores. 6-1, Kosaka to third.
Second time that they score on a wild pitch. It's just not what Mexico planned coming into this game. At the beginning, they were bit by the nerves. Japan took advantage of it in the first inning, and then since then, they continue to add inning per inning. Not a clean inning yet for Mexico on defense.
3-2 pitch is ball 4. And Shuma Tachibana gets on for the second time out of that last spot in the Japan lineup. So they've done it 1 through 14 as well. And that's just another bullet point in what's been so impressive about the Tokyo team's offense. So now 2 on as the lineup flips back to the top for Akito Masuda. He's walked, scored, and grounded out.
7 walks, including the intentional walk. Couple hit by pitches. On the board is 1 error. Should have been 2 errors.
And now one of the stars for Japan with the chance to really try to provide some more breathing room. 5-run lead, looking for more. Rubio's 1-0. Off the end of the bat, foul.
Good healthy cut right there. 1-1 last time. Japan sent the runner with a runner first and third.
Wouldn't be surprised to see it again, right?
I actually would, because you have the top of the order here, Masuda, one of their big bats at the plate.
1-1. Big cut, and yep, they don't do it. So it's 1-2.
But now with 2 strikes, different story. You put a little pressure on the defense. Are they going to throw through or not? Not a lot of speed at third.
Long looking for Andy Rubio. 1-2. Masuda on the ground, right side, and Hernandez ends the inning. Japan's got the lead by 5. They're trying to get to 2-0 here at the Little League World Series.
Cash, what's up, man? What's up? Fargo in the house! Oh my gosh, I have been hearing so much about this Fargo team. All this about personalities, how much fun you're having. What is it about this group?
This group, they're all like brothers, and we just love having fun together.
No one told you that you're not supposed to have fun in sports?
Oh yeah, no one told us that. That's not a thing. We all love having fun in sports.
And what does the fun consist of? Good dance parties, a little singing,
for sure.
karaoke,
dance parties, dance parties. We love dancing.
You love dancing?
Yeah.
That's so weird because I just happen to have a speaker. Should we have a dance party?
Yeah!
Cue the music, please.
Straight Cash homie, Cash Martinez. He's coming up next as our Little League World Series coverage continues with that North Dakota team making some history against Texas. That is right here on ESPN with Julie, her speaker, Tim Kirchin, Todd Frazier, and Carl Ravitch, as we now welcome those of you watching this game on ESPN News, which this game will continue on once that game gets started up at Lamade Stadium. How about the name Cash Martinez? That's all name team for the 20 teams we've seen here.
Definite money. Definite money right there.
We got Kiloto Takano dancing in left. Japan leads Mexico by 5 here in the international bracket, which has seen a bunch of fun, a lot of good stories, and some well-pitched games so far.
I love that. I love that kid out there. Takano is my guy. All right, big fan of Kirato Takano in left field. He continues to wear the shades because he knows he looks good. And oh, by the way, he knows where the cameras are as well.
He has spotted what's called a jib. The big camera that's hovering over his shoulder at all times. Bottom 4, Mexico trails and bats with the top of its lineup. Jorge Lizárraga, who had a bunt single his first time. To an 0 from Akito Masuda. Fouled back in our direction, 2-1. Lizárraga, special talent is chess. So is a big Rays fan. He's working the count against Masuda, 3-1.
Well, how about this? This just in right now. Ranger Suarez, who was supposed to start tomorrow, the Little League Classic, will not start with soreness in his hamstring. Instead, the Little Leaguers on Sunday, said tomorrow, it's on Sunday, the Little Leaguers will be able to see Zach Wheeler, the #1 pitcher for the Phillies.
Wow.
As he will be on the mound here at Williamsport.
Hot shot, right field, base hit, smoldered.
It's a good start. Good start, top of the order. Lizárraga gets on top of this one. That's a beautiful swing. And if Mexico's going to do something, it has to be in this inning. You have the top of the order up. Got to put pressure. It's the second hit of the game.
Cool moment for Jorge as well. It was about a month ago to the day he lost his maternal grandmother, and he has dedicated this tournament to her, keeping her and his family close to his heart. And he moves up into scoring position, trying to jumpstart a Mexico comeback.
Good read also.
Cut and a miss from Jonathan Juarez, who had a bunt single his first time. Now 1-1.
He's on top of the plate and he moves up now. So he will be bunting right here.
Ooh, tried to drop down a beauty like he and Lizárraga did in the first. You saw it coming.
Yeah. Now he goes back in the box.
And strikes out. What a gun. All right, so this game will continue on ESPN News. 6-1 our score, and in the meantime, let's get you up to Lamade Stadium with Todd, Tim, and Julie. Here's Ravi. So we continue on for those watching here on ESPN News. 6-1, Japan leads Mexico in the bottom of the 4th. And Team Japan will make a pitching change. 53 pitches for Akito Masuda. And I don't think it's going to be Kosaka next. He's still got the first baseman on.
They're having a lot of fun on that mound. Show your personality is. This is their depth. This is their ticket and how they got here.
That's what they told you really from Jump Street. And because they take out Akito Masuda when they do, he only needs 2 days rest and not 3 days rest. So he can next pitch on Monday, and that's the next time the winner of this game will play. Let's check out our game track. It's brought to you by Geico. Japan's offense has capitalized on 7 walks, and they lead this game by 5 here in the bottom of the 4th, trying to get to 2-0. What's impressed you most about Japan? You've seen them for both the games they've played.
Their ability to command the zone. You know, we did not see that today against Team Mexico. And what Japan has done is they are making sure that if you are going to get on base, you have to earn your way. So far, 1 hit by pitch, 1 walk through those 3 innings. And it's just allowing the defense to play. They've done that. They just do not give up that extra base.
They're looking the part of one of the top teams here. So we know they're good. We know Chinese Taipei is good. You got a kid that throws 81 miles an hour, you're going to be tough. They hit the ball as well yesterday in their win against Canada. It's looking like it's a pretty strong field here.
Really strong field. Team Curacao looks really good as well, representing the Caribbean. They went through the gauntlet. They had to beat Dominican Republic. They had to beat 2 Puerto Rican teams and Daruba as well. And they have experience. They have 5 players coming back from their finals team last year. So it's definitely a deep field. We still don't know what Taiwan offers after their ace on the mound. And I think that is going to be the biggest question that we'll find out.
Let's go down to Sebastian and check in with him.
We got Yohei Yamaguchi's mom here. As you just heard her say, she's a little bit nervous. We're all nervous here at the Little League World Series. What is it like watching your son?
Watching son? I can't say.
It's so emotional, right?
Yeah.
I know you haven't really gotten to spend too much time with him, but you told me before you think he's very happy here, right?
Yes, very happy. Yeah, it's amazing. And I didn't even dream to be here, as I told you, so.
It's an amazing experience and you're enjoying it. Let's watch your son on the mound.
Yes.
Guys, back to you.
It really is an amazing moment for these proud parents who get to watch their sons or their daughters in spots that they never envisioned they would be. Coming from Tokyo, more than 6,600 miles away, and now Yohei Yamaguchi with mom watching is pitching against a team from Tijuana, Mexico in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, United States.
Pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool as it continues to stay windy and it's cooling down.
All 4.
As well.
Let me get the first. Wait, hold on.
Wind's been blowing more today than we've seen the first couple days.
Big opportunity right here for Team Mexico now with Yamil Mandujano, their big stick up at the plate. How big are those 2 runs that Japan was able to score in the top half of the 4th inning? Right now, he just got some instruction from his coach. He said, look, just have those quick hands. Don't try to pull it. You can hit the ball hard up the middle.
Which is the direction he went his first time.
With 2 strikes. Pulling off early. Let's see how they attack him.
It's neat hearing from him pregame. Such a thoughtful 12-year-old. And one of their studs. First pitch, Yamaguchi comes home with strike 1. Even before coming here, Jamil said the coolest place he's traveled to is Williamsport. 10 years ago, he told you about his brother who played for this same Little League in Tijuana. on that 2013 team that went up against this same Tokyo Little League in the International Championship. And Jamil's been telling his older brother that he will finish what Big Brother started 10 years ago.
We got a lot of work to do on this one.
Breaking ball for strike 3 called. 2 down.
We threw him 2 fastballs on the inside part, and then this one appears to go right at him. And it's that curveball. Stays inside. And he gets the call. How about Mom right there? Oh, yeah.
She said it's amazing. And yeah, some deep breathing. Watching Yohei Yamaguchi work. Now Jorge Villa. Did not offer at the first pitch.
By the way, great posture over there on the no swing call with the legs crossed. Beautifully done. Stuck the landing.
1-0 to Villa. Here's ball 2. Misses, and it's 3-0 on Villa. Yamaguchi was actually born in Paris. He lived there until he was 3 years old. He's played piano since he was 4 years young, and the violin since he was 6.
Come on.
This guy's the man.
He was born in Paris?
Sure was.
Oh.
He's 3-1. That's high. Villa works the walk. Mexico preaching patience and has the bases loaded here. Down by 5 in the 4th. Look who's coming up. The Grand Slam hitter. From the journey to get to this point, Marco Mejia. His friends and teammates, he tells us, have started calling him San Marco because of the Grand Slam he hit when the game was tied in the late innings against Matamoros.
Really interesting here. Don't know who's the conversation on the mound. They're having fun. They're laughing. They're enjoying it. Trying just to kill the momentum a little bit. Little strategy by Team Japan.
Not seen a single visit from the Japanese coaching staff. And Yohei Yamaguchi will take aim at San Marco. Up high, ball 1. Marco's mother actually made a card of his face in a robe as well with the title, San Marco. Big swing, trying to make it a 1-run game.
This is the big pitch in this at-bat right here. 1-1, it could turn big time if it goes 2-1 in favor of San Marco. But if it goes 1-2, Marco's going to have to protect. Now, let's not forget, last time hit by a pitch on the first pitch.
And had to wait around 3 days into this event for his team to play its first game. 1-1 to Marco. Line foul. 1-2 against Yamaguchi.
Big pitch, and let's not forget what happened to Yamil Mandujano on the first 2-strike count. Threw the curveball, froze him, threw it right at him. You have to be aware of the bender.
Yohei Yamaguchi came on for Akito Masuda. Mexico has loaded the bases, and Marco Mejia is granted time.
He's got a message from his coach, be ready for anything.
The 1-2. It was a fastball. 2-2.
Love the location. Went up with the fastball. Now, do you go with the curveball from that same spot? Train the eye, look up. Will he be able to adjust close stance for Marco at the plate?
2-2. Fastball up in the zone, and Yamaguchi strands him loaded.
Boy, went with the number 1 right here. Mama has to be happy. Gets a swing and miss. 6-1, Japan.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the Little League World Series presented by T-Mobile. Hey, this Saturday we'll have opening weekend coverage of the Bundesliga featuring Dortmund and Cologne. You know what that music means. Coverage starts at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific with a 12:30 kickoff on ABC, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. Eduardo Perez, Sebastian Salazar, Mike Monaco with you here in the 5th inning. South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Andy Rubio getting ready to face 2, 3, and 4 for Japan.
You know, we pay attention to all the kids that are playing in uniform, and rightfully so. This is their event. It's a beautiful event. But can't say enough about the umpires, right? They volunteer their time. They volunteer to be here, and I just think it's great. I think it's great that they love the sport. They give back to the sport, and for that, we definitely appreciate everything that they do, not only for Little League, but all around the game of baseball.
It's a pretty selective process to be chosen to come here. These umpires, in many cases, a vast majority of them, are also umpires in the college game or the high school game. So they're pros, and then they volunteer their time to do these Little League games as well. Dime Nakano has doubled twice. Takes a strike, 1-1. And so many volunteers behind the scenes all over the place. Smell some chicken tenders. Nakano in the air, right field. Sadaga under it for the first down. Do we have eyes on Sebi, by the way? Sometimes he's working so hard. I worry that he doesn't get a meal between games, you know?
I'm telling you, we need to get a pedometer on him.
Guys, who needs food when you drink, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 Diet Mountain Dews a day? I mean, that's what's keeping me full. I stole Tim Kirchin's. I stole all of his Diet Mountain Dews. So I'm good to go. I don't need any food. By the way, I do have my step meter here. We're well over 12,000 steps on the day, and that's actually down from day one. We were over 15,000 on day one. Working for you, boys. Working for you.
Love it.
How many years is this for you, Sebastian?
2017 was my first, and you guys know, like, I'm not necessarily a baseball guy. I'm a soccer guy. I should have been reading that promo about the Bundesliga, okay? I'm glad you pronounced Cologne right. But this is my favorite assignment of the year. I mean, hands down, and it's not even close. It really is the best place in sports, and personally, on a personal level, it makes me so, so happy to just be able to be a part of this team. It really is a special event, and as much as I do soccer, I don't get as many texts ever as I do when I'm covering the Little League World Series. The phone is blowing up. It tells you just how many people are watching worldwide.
What else you got up your sleeve while you're here? Any stories you're particularly excited to tell, or any interview pieces, kids you've already talked to, anything like that?
You know what, I think the best story here has got to be Cuba, right? So I'm interested to see them. We're going to get a shot at them tomorrow. Hopefully they can stick around. To be ashamed to see them go home so quick. Beyond that, I just met a gentleman actually down here, Richard Horn. He played in the original Little League World Series back in 1947, 88 years old, still coming to the games. Maybe we'll get to talk to him tomorrow as well.
That's awesome. You're the best, man. Hinata Uchigaki drops in a double into right field, and he was digging out of the box. Yeah, that Cuba story is just incredible. And I mean, you've been spending time with those guys as well, and you got to be a part of their first experience at McDonald's yesterday.
Yeah, that was really cool. Look, these kids are so grounded. They understand that this is not an experience that not a lot of kids in Cuba are able to do. Many of them got on a plane for the first time. I asked one of their players, Edgar Torres, their shortstop, I said, what's your favorite meal that you've had? This was before our visit yesterday to McDonald's. And he said, the apples. He said, I've never tasted apples like these before. And we take all these things for granted, and they put you right back in the place that you belong, and it's just to be grateful for what we have.
Your father is, of course, one of 4 Cuban Hall of Famers. What's it mean to you to see them here as a team and as a country?
Oh, this means the world to me. To be able to see these young kids and, you know, still having family in Cuba, it's big. You know, I'm grateful that my parents met in Puerto Rico and I was raised in Puerto Rico, and I always say I have the best of the 3 flags, having been born in the United States, but fully blooded Cuban, and, you know, the heart belongs in Puerto Rico as well. So to see these kids here and the opportunity that baseball gave my father to be able to leave the country while it was in turmoil, and now these kids are here because of baseball. This has nothing to do with politics. It's all the purity of the game.
Taiga Tsutsui, the batter, and Uchigaki to third.
That hit the batter, though.
That's what Tsutsui's trying to plead.
The runner has to go back to second. That's a hit batsman right there. Now, if you're Team Japan, I would actually rather have the hitter. See, this hits him. This clearly hits him.
Yeah, would you rather take your chances with a guy already at third or have first and second?
If the count were 2-0, but because of 2 strikes, take the base, we'll take first and second. As for the 5th inning in a row, Japan has runners at first and second.
It was the first time that they didn't get the leadoff man on in an inning. Credit the umpires for coming together and getting that one right. And so, yeah, 2 on again for Yohei Yamaguchi, who has singled and been hit by a pitch.
Tell you what, Tracy Duez at third base has not missed a beat from the first pitch of the game.
.30 pitches now for Rubio. Fouled away, 1-1.
One other thing with Team Cuba, they have to be watching this game right now and saying, look, we're not that bad. We lost 1-0, we got no hit. We allowed 1 hit. We can compete. And for them, because they're seeing what Japan is doing right now, manufacturing, competing with the at-bats, grinding out at-bats, they have the pitching, they have the defense to be able to continue and stay competitive throughout this tournament. Do not sleep on it.
You made the point with them that because they're not allowed to throw curveballs until an older age in Cuba, that was really the first time they had seen him when Hinata Uchigaki was throwing them, and Hinata said after the game, my curveball was really working for him.
Yeah, and they knew exactly what they were getting into. Czech Republic is another team that has not also seen breaking pitches. And, you know, you have to respect each federation, each little league, and how they take care of their kids' arms.
Two and two. Yohei Yamaguchi. I mean, think about it in the Czech Republic's case. Yeah, they hadn't seen curveballs. Their coaching staff also told us they hadn't seen pitches faster than 55 miles an hour, and they saw 73. So had never seen a curveball. And now they're seeing plus 20 miles an hour.
You know, when we put on our scorecard WW, that's what it feels like being in the box when they face these kids here. Wasn't watching. WW.
Low roller to third, and Leyva had the hurry, but on a slow roller, Yamaguchi reaches. They're loaded again. All right, so walk us through the experience at McDonald's yesterday.
Phenomenal. Block away from here. Team Cuba was taking to McDonald's, so 1 by 1. First time they ever have a burger from McDonald's. The French fries, they loved it. And by the way, Alfredo Despaigne Jr., pretty heavy on the Instagram.
Bro, he's got like 2,300 followers.
Yeah.
That's putting Xavier Scruggs to shame.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You said the most popular order, the number 3? Is that right?
Number 3, I didn't know. I didn't know the numbers, right? So I would imagine number 1 was Big Mac, and I was right. Number 3 is actually the double quarter pounder, which doesn't that make it a half pounder?
I think so.
Just saying.
Hold on. Let me check with Tubes. He's our stats guy. Tubes, 2 quarter pounders or double quarter pounder. Either way, the verbiage. What do you got? Okay, he's got a half pounder. Popped up by Nobuaki Sakaue. And the infield fly rule in effect at Santiago Hernandez.
And then the number 7. And oh, by the way, not only did they get the big sodas, but they also got the sundae.
Did you pick up the tab? It sounds like a pretty sizable sum. Good man.
I was willing.
Yep.
I was willing.
Brings up Kosuke Nohira. This crowd from Mexico has been outstanding all night, trying to help this Tijuana team off the field and within striking distance.
Well, they're looking for their first 0 on the board.
One out.
Nohira on base already twice, once by a hit by pitch and the other one via a walk. Japan trying to drive their first run in on a hit.
Two out. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. To Nohira. Right side, Hernandez slides, throws, got him from a knee.
Santiago Hernandez. Lucete. Going to his left, makes a beautiful play on the throw to first. And the first 0 goes on the board for Team Japan as they continue to lead Team Mexico 6-1, bottom of the 5th.
The Little League Baseball World Series presented by T-Mobile continues inside the souvenir shop. You can get just about anything in there, including stuffed animals, dugout of all sizes. Here in Williamsport at Volunteer Stadium. Look at the gym. I mean, just coming from nowhere. You think it's in the mulch, next thing you know, it's over the head of Takano.
There it is right there. By the way, Takano still with the shades. Why not? Oh, no clank it.
It's about the only thing he's done wrong the whole time.
Dame this. No good.
On the big stage, under the bright lights. I miss the flip-ups. Would you wear those?
You mean flip downs?
The flip downs, like I said.
I just want to make sure. You were flipping them up. I got you. Well, if it was Takano, you would call it flip ups because he would always have them down.
Yep. Would you wear those? The flip downs?
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite baseball cards, actually.
He knows he's on TV right now.
There it is.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Is actually with the flip downs. Oh, yeah, he's loving it right now.
One of your favorite baseball cards, you said?
Yeah, me diving for a baseball with the flip downs on.
They're classic. This is Bernardo Partida. He's got his flip down. He grounded the short his first time. Facing Yohei Yamaguchi, 2-0. This Mexico team from Tijuana, like we told you. This Little League making its second Little League World Series appearance. Same manager, Francisco Fimbres, like we said. And Mexico has been here a whole lot. They started getting an automatic berth in the Little League World Series in 2001. That's when the tournament went up to 16 teams. We're now at 20. Before that, Mexico was part of the Latin America region. And Mexico has produced so many good ball players, and that includes Tijuana. Right now in the big leagues, Alejandro Kirk stands out, the Blue Jays catcher. He was born in Tijuana.
And we'll also have Joey Meneses, who represents Mexico, and he will be here on Sunday for the Nationals. Hitting .283 coming into today. In the season yesterday, had 5 runs driven in. By the way, Luis Urias hit a grand slam yesterday, and for the first time in history, in the same game, 2 Mexican players combined more than 8 runs driven in in a game.
This is Arath Laborin after the strikeout from Yamaguchi. What a career path it's been for Joey Meneses.
Yeah.
To think about how he has asserted himself in the big leagues in recent years.
Absolutely, yes. Last year, came in, got the call. They needed some pop in the lineup, and he provided the pop in the lineup. He's
back in our direction. And Sakaue has a friend in the broadcast booth.
It's my guy.
Adrian Gonzalez was born in the United States, but he was raised in Tijuana until he was about 8 years old. 5-time All-Star, of course.
Two strikes.
1-2 the count on Laborin. Couple of Ks for Yohei Yamaguchi this inning. He's punched out 4.
I mean, this is just fastball power down and away. Locating really well. He's pitched up, he's pitched in. Down, just changing locations. Making Mama proud.
Now will face Mayolo Pena. Second AB for the Mexico catcher. Good curve. Good fastball. So you got the curve and the heater.
Favorite actor? Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So if you would say Dwayne Johnson, you know it's The Rock.
Yep.
And if you say The Rock, you know it's Dwayne Johnson, right?
Yep.
That's so good. That's so cool. I got to get you a nickname.
Me?
Yeah.
Anything coming to mind?
Nope.
All right. Well, we have I think 90 seconds to think about it. Little League Baseball World Series presented by T-Mobile continues with what we call in the business as a two-box. Volunteer Stadium on the left, our game here, Japan leading Mexico into the 6th. And then at Lamade Stadium, North Dakota just tied this game against Texas in the bottom of the 2nd. A Texas team that has already won a game. They've got a left-handed catcher, by the way, behind the plate. I think that's DJ Jablonski, was the starting pitcher the other day. And I'm all in on a lefty catcher.
Yeah, I'm all in on it as well. Look, this is all about kids getting an opportunity and playing the game and getting that opportunity.
North Dakota, by the way, making the first appearance in the Little League Baseball World Series for the entire state. So welcome to the kids from Fargo. Yuzuki Matsumura leads off against Andy Rubio. Third trip to the plate for Matsumura. Winner of this game plays Monday night. Loser plays Sunday afternoon. Both games you can watch over on ESPN. We're talking Mexico's history here. A lot of good history for this Musashi Huchu Little League out of Tokyo. Their 4th trip to Williamsport. And this specific Little League went to the Japan National Tournament, one stage before this point, for a 3rd straight year. And they finally broke through and got back to this Little League World Series. Rubio's got a strikeout. The K capped by Pena, and there's one gone. A lot of history for Japan as a country. 11 World Series championships. They first got here in 1962, but the country hasn't won it all here since 2017.
Just a fundamentally sound team. That's what they always bring here. And the competition is so difficult in Japan that when they get here, you know they are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Sota Kayanuma thought about a bunt, pulled it back, and took strike 1. Should they finish this off, their opponent in that Monday night game, 5 o'clock Eastern time, will be Chinese Taipei. But he runs it down, 2 gone. So it would be the Japanese team for a 3rd time, and Chinese Taipei for the 2nd time.
Got the 10-hole hitter up now.
Oh, yes.
Wanted to make sure.
Thank you. You were throwing me up 10 fingers.
You were like,
I thought you were giving my assessment a 10 out of 10, maybe. First pitch swinging from Kilato Takano. Our boy was
first 1, 2, 3.
The first one. 10, 11, 12 coming for Mexico. And the Little League Baseball World Series on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. About 5 miles away from where we are at Volunteer Stadium, you find Bowman Field, and that's where you find on Sunday Night Baseball. 6th annual MLB Little League Classic. It's the Phillies and Nationals. Joey Meneses and company, 7 Eastern, over on ESPN. Also on ESPN Deportes, and a special Kids Cast edition over on ESPN2. Zach, Owen, Pepper, the whole gang. Joe McCoy producing. Coverage starts on ESPN at 6 Eastern with the Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. New armors on for Team Japan. It's Yuzuki Matsumura. Comes on for the bottom of the 6th for the Japanese side.
All right, so if you want high leg kicks, Yuzuki-san delivers that high leg kick, and also eats some pork cutlets. That's his favorite meal. I love them as well while I lived in Japan. But a little bit of Juan Marichal look-alike here with that high leg kick.
Juan, who may or may not have been tuned in at some point here to the Little League World Series the last few days.
Oh, yeah.
And Yuzuki comes home with strike one to the 10-hole hitter, Jorge Cota. That's one of the higher leg kicks we've seen.
That really is. But again, great foundation, down low, balance with the legs.
And so fluid how, even with the high leg kick, like he curls his leg upward and inward.
And we get so mesmerized with the legs. As a hitter, you're not even looking at that. What you're looking at is, when is he going to make contact with his eyes and the target? Remember Fernando Valenzuela used to look up? He actually looks away and then picks up the target again.
And it all adds up to a strikeout for him. And Yuzuki Matsumura's got the first out in the last of the 6th.
Talked about the depth in pitching of Team Japan. Voila, they continue to throw kids that throw strikes.
Alfredo Chacon. First pitch swinging. Alfredo wants to be a doctor because his mother, he says, works as a hospital consultant, so he spends a lot of time there with her. Specifically, he would like to be a plastic surgeon.
In Tijuana, huh? Smart.
That's the future for Alfredo. Currently 5'1", 97 pounds. Look out for Matsumura. One of the things I love too
Push it back more.
at the Little League World Series is that for a lot of these guys, it's their first time with a rosin bag on the mound. We have seen a few times during pitching changes, certain infielders just reach down and they just want to take a try with the rosin bag, because you see it growing up, right? That pitchers do it. That's how it's done in the major leagues, and it might be your first time playing in a game with a rosin bag.
And in Japan, the rosin bag is used a lot. And it's a different, it's not the rock rosin, it's the powdery one, just like the one that's on the mound here. Sometimes you see the puff ball where they deliver the pitch. Well, we did the KBO. You know how it was. And you just see the release, and all of a sudden the puff. I remember the first time.
Smack to center. And right at Mizushima.
First time I saw a lot of rosin used in baseballs was actually with Nolan Ryan, facing Nolan Ryan. He had his special baseballs because it was his last year, and you couldn't even see the seams, as there were like bags of rosin in those special marked baseballs compared to our pitchers. What a legend.
No doubt. Santiago Hernandez rolls a comebacker, and that's the ball game. Japan's 2-0 in Williamsport, and they have looked the part. Pitching in game 1, an unending offensive onslaught in game 2.
Pitching and defense, a timely, opportunistic. They took advantage of the mistakes that Team Mexico gave them. A lot of free passes, a lot of errors, a lot of hit by pitches. All those things Japan was able to take advantage of.
They win it 6-1 over Mexico, and the winner's bracket on the international side looks like this. Our Monday games are set in the international bracket. 1 o'clock, it's Venezuela against Curacao. They each have a win already. Chinese Taipei's got a 1 win, and Japan has 2.
all those 4 teams get to take advantage of the Little League Classic on Sunday and get ready to play ball on Monday.
That's the appetizer for them before a big night on Sunday and their games on Monday. 6-1 the final. Japan wins it. Again, flip over to ESPN and watch the United States bracket. Time to eat for us. For Eduardo Perez, Sebastian Salazar, and our entire crew, Mike Monaco saying thanks for joining us here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.